But first, how can you make those summer adventures last? Relive them the very next day. My first guest says this morning, keep savoring what you learned, what you saw, what you did by creating a supplemental experience at home. You might check out a library book on the topic, you might sort through souvenirs, but Rachel Nipper suggests creating an art activity out of it, again, to stretch out those fun summertime moments. It's great to meet you, great to have you.
Thank you.
Give me the creative application here. What does this look like?
Okay, so basically, the concept is simple. You know, we're at the end of summer. We're out doing fun activities with our kids.
Making the most of it.
Yes. And my favorite way, and that I found with my family to make the most of it, is the next day, say we go down to the dinosaur museum and spend a day there.
Okay.
The next day we might come home and, like you mentioned, read a book about dinosaurs and implement a craft or art activity based on dinosaurs. Or if we visit the Tracy Aviary, learn about birds, come home the next day and maybe make a fun parrot craft with your kids just to extend the fun the next day.
I get it, and I like it. It's sort of like an ace up your mom's sleeve because you're stretching out. It's more bang for your buck in terms of the fun factor.
And it helps them get more memories and remember the activity you did the prior day.
I love it. All right, you've taken that concept and expanded it to some really common summertime activities. You've got the activity, the follow-up activity to help us stretch out the fun. First, I just returned a couple weeks ago from the beach, so this would be perfect for a vacation like that.
We did too, and that is exactly what inspired this one. My family spent a week in Lake Tahoe, and my daughter's favorite activity that week was building sandcastles on the beach.
Are you still finding sand like I am in every nook and cranny of your laundry in your house? Yeah, so you recreated that scene and that memory here.
And this one is less messy, so that's perfect.
We'll celebrate that too.
This one is so simple because all you need is some tan cardstock, some sandpaper, and blue tissue paper.
Done.
And either if you have toddlers, you might want to cut out the shapes for them prior and just set them out on the side and let them go have fun at creating. Or if you have older children, you can have them cut out the shapes themselves and just go from start to finish, create their own sandcastle.
But it's a different kind of sandcastle building, still using that creative side, a lot of hands-on texture still happening as well. I bet your kids got really into this.
Yes, and you know, my favorite thing about it is that you can actually buy the tissue paper and the sandpaper at the dollar store.
Nice.
So this is super affordable for families to make that have lots of kids, or, you know, it's just a great affordable project for summertime.
All right, next common summertime activity, a trip to the aquarium. There's aquarium down south, up north, everyone's covered. How can we stretch out that fun?
Okay, so the first one I brought to share is this jellyfish.
Okay.
So it's actually a puppet.
Oh, I see.
And we attach the jellyfish to a craft stick.
Okay.
And you can just, you slit a hole in, in the paper plate, and they can dance around their little jellyfish. I mean, my kids, the favorite one that they love is the jellyfish, the ones that change colors in the water.
Right.
And so that was what inspired this one, is they just love to watch the jellyfish dance around.
Clever.
So now you can bring that home and have your own jellyfish dance around.
Oh, come on, Rachel, this guy needs some googly eyes, don't you think? Doesn't he need some googly eyes?
Definitely could add those.
Okay, but just some simple craft paint, some yarn, and construction paper. It looks like you're good to go.
Yes, so simple.
Okay, what's the second aquarium activity for us?
Okay, so if you have shark fans, I have a shark fan at my house.
Do you? Shark Week was like the big deal of summer?
Right, it was. And we made these for Shark Week, actually.
Oh, nice.
So all you need with this is just some leftover newspaper that you might have laying around your house, and some colored paper. And my favorite thing about this project is how none of the sharks are going to turn out the same. If you notice, we have one that is, a little more plump, one that's a little bit more scary.
He's had a better lunch. We won't guess what went into that system to make him a little fatter.
So that makes this one a fabulous family project. If you have kids of all different ages, it's a great one to make as a family because each shark is going to turn out with their own fun personality.
I'm not sure which shark I would want to meet. Probably neither at this point, but I'm saying one has more teeth. I did notice that detail as well. So fun to see how their creativity sort of takes off.
Yes.
Okay, what's our next one?
This one is my favorite. It is making fish out of cupcake liners.
This is adorable.
And how this was inspired is I noticed every time we had a birthday party and we made cupcakes or we made muffins, I always had leftover cupcake liners.
It's like the manufacturers never counted out right. Why do we always have 4 hangovers?
I know. And so I thought, how can I use these in a creative way And then lo and behold, we'd taken a trip to the aquarium and looked at some of the tropical fish, and I thought, hey, these cupcake liners are going to make great fish.
So do you just smash them down on the paper, or what's the technical term?
So just flatten out the cupcake liner.
Okay.
And you can cut one into pieces to make the tail and a fin for the fish.
Layers.
Yes. And then just glue them right on there. Now, one of my favorite things, and this project is great for toddlers because for the bubbles, if you notice, these are just reinforcement labels.
Oh, clever,
just little
Rachel.
stickers.
Yes.
And so kids, I mean, what kid does not love to play with stickers, right?
My Emmy just entered the sticker phase, and we're going through books like mad people. Yeah,
I bet. So it's just a sticker, and you can kids can just add it on.
Oh, I love it.
Just wherever they, want to add a cute little bubble.
Yes.
Onto their fish. And then just a crayon to add little wave markings and googly eyes, of course. You can never have enough of those.
You can never go wrong with the googly eye.
Yes.
I'm thinking, Emmy, my dad has a saltwater aquarium at home at his house, and Emmy loves to go visit and help Papa feed the fish. This would be a great takeaway activity from that.
Fun.
Stickers included. Okay, about a minute left. A trip to the zoo. You've got to take a trip to the zoo during the summer season. It's not complete until you check that off your list.
Right.
What's a follow-up activity we can do?
So our favorite thing to do after visiting the zoo is to make finger puppets. So these two were inspired by my kids' favorite animals, a zebra and a giraffe. So all you do is you just would put your fingers in, the holes that we have here, and then the kids can put on a puppet show.
How do you make the holes?
So I have a pattern for the giraffe on my website, but my favorite thing is to invest in just a little hole punch, either a 1/2 inch or a 3/4 inch.
It's one of those you reach for a lot.
Yes, and so it's definitely nice to have on hand. And then you just would punch out just quickly the holes. So simple, and then you can make any kind of animal you can think of with just the two different shapes. Add, a long neck.
Look how cute.
Ears, horns, add details.
And there's probably a pride factor when they make it. The play becomes more fun after you've created it.
And it's so much fun to watch them play.
Yeah. You've done all of these activities on the home front. The feedback is just what? More imagination, more creativity, more fun?
Yes. Yes, my kids love to create. I don't even have to, offer it anymore. They just get out the supplies and just love to make anything.
You've drawn that out of their sweet little minds. All right, you mentioned the download on your website. You've got other great craft ideas like this. Where can we find you?
At iHeartCraftyThings.com.
Okay.
We've got hundreds of ideas. Anything you can think of, we'll have it.
Great job, Rachel. So fun for moms like me in the trenches trying to stretch out those afternoon hours with a busy toddler at hand. Nice